What up, what up, what up? What up, what up, what up, OG Bruce Lee? You can hear me? You got me? I got my headphones in this thing. You got me? What up, what up, what up? What up, Robert? What's good with you? All right. Y'all got me. You said I'm good on sound. I appreciate that. All right, so I got one of my guys hitting me up, trying to get this money that I sent to him. Let me turn this up, make sure I'm straight. I can hear that. All right. What up, Sean? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? So let's have a quick conversation. I just wanted to say what's up with y'all. And I guess I titled today's conversation, You Are Light. And I really want to get into that cosmic perception and that understanding that we're light, man. You know, one thing I think that we got to look at and really understand is God is the most amazing. When I say God, I'm talking about divine intelligence. I'm talking about whatever you want to call it. Because one thing is for certain, right? We are not conscientious enough to say, oh, I remember creating an eyebrow to stop dust from getting into my eye, and all of the trillions of bodily functions that must exist in order for us to live. So there's clearly some type of order, nor are we setting the seasons and the stages that these 4 seasons go through. There's some type of order. There's a system. There's a work of intelligence that's at play here, right? And so this God force, this G force is absolutely the most amazing thing ever. And at the same time, it is a complete oxymoron. And one of my favorite things to study within nature is the rainbow jellyfish. Like that thing really amazes me, because here goes a creature that you can see through, completely transparent. You don't see a brain. You don't see eyes. You don't see sexual organs. You can't see what it is that actually makes up the intelligence. Like when a human being, you can open up the chest cavity, you can see heart, lungs, liver, and, brain. You can start to see things and learn how it functions when you dissect a human being, right? And animals. But when you get to the rainbow jellyfish, like this thing is like, yo, where the hell is because it's translucent. You can see through it. It's transparent. Where is the intelligence at that is making that which is visible visible? Okay, so we got to understand that. What up, Carrie? So one thing's for sure is this: you got to come to this firm understanding, right? Because this is an oxymoron. Hold on, my maintenance man hit me. All right. So the oxymoron is you would never ever see God, but you will see God everywhere. You got to understand this, right? You would never ever see God, but you will see God everywhere. So what do I mean by this? Well, you would never ever see God, even if this idea of what you have is God, even if it's outside of yourself as this being, and let's just put it on Jesus, right? Then that which is Jesus cannot be God per se, because there is an invisible force that makes the visible visible, right? So if it's Jesus as physical man, then invisible air makes God dependent upon something that's invisible in order to function. So is that God? You get where I'm going with this? This is purely a conversation for mental expansion. Okay. And so even if we saw this vision of God and we died and went to this eternal place of white abyss and light, and I've been there on 2 occasions, right? Which is very real. It's a state of pure infinite white light, pure bliss. If you hear people who talk about near-death experiences, they talk about this infinite white light in this feeling of it's just bliss. It's the best way I can explain it, right? And even if this figure came in that you saw says, hey, I am God, and you see it, there is going to be something that is within it that is making it operate. So therefore, are you really seeing that which you perceive to be as God? It's just a question, right? So this is why this ancient maxim that says all truths are but half truths, meaning all of the truth is just half truth, and then all paradoxes, all of the discrepancies can be reconciled. This is in the Hermetic philosophy. It's called the Kabbalion. It's a free PDF online. You can get it. And when it talks about all is mental, and you know, the law of correspondence, the law of rhythm and cause and effect and polarity and gender and things of that nature, it talks about all truths are but half truths and all paradoxes can be reconciled. So I like to study nature, that which we can naturally observe. Let's call it the observable universe. But for us, we're not saying universe far as distant galaxies and stars. It's everything that you can see, including the distant galaxy and stars, if we can perceive that. Okay. So when we're looking at this oxymoron of creation, we have to know that we're in a what up, Carter? What's happening? We're in a catch-22, right? Because this is the place where the sun appears to rise and it don't rise. Google image solar system. And then you're gonna see like, wait a minute, hold on. If the earth is, if this is a circle and we're going around a circle and the sun is in the middle of the circle, how the hell do the sun appear to be above our head? Like that's amazing. That's an oxymoron, right? So we live in the place that I call the cosmic illusion. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is where we live at, the cosmic illusion, okay? So we hear this light comes from darkness and everything is darkness because darkness is the creator. I'm going to say yes and no, because see, the ancient truth is that's a half truth. It's right, but it ain't right. And you're right and wrong at the same time. I keep telling you, light has duality, a positive pole, negative pole. Pull out a battery. Light has to operate on one extreme side of the spectrum and then the complete opposite side of the spectrum in order for it to manifest itself. So you are God and the devil at the same time. You are the coin. You are heads and tails. Okay. So when we look at light, visible light, especially, well, let's call it white light to be exactly. If darkness births light, how is it when we split white light, which is supposed to be no color, when we split white light, you start to see 6 colors, which are darker. You start to see red, orange, right? Yellow, green, blue, violet. You see the 6 colors in the color spectrum. So darkness actually resides inside of white invisible light. Darkness resides in the light. But we always hear that light comes from darkness. And we understand it. But what we have to understand, here's the science. I teach this in the class called the Cosmic Light Body. All right. I might do it this year. I may not. When you got to really observe light, So let's use a rainbow. And you got to be a sucker for patterns to be able to see, again, the oxymoron of God. So if you have something to write with, I just want you to flow with the diagram of the rainbow. So let's go. We're going to see red at the top. We're going to see orange, number 2. We're going to see yellow, number 3. We're going to see green, number 4. We're going to see blue, number 5. And at the very bottom of the rainbow, the last arc, we're going to see violet, or what you will call purple. Okay? This is very interesting. This is very interesting. Because if you understand color theory, it's not even theory, it's really law. If you understand the science of colors, then colors deal with 3 primary: red, yellow, blue. These are the 3 creators of all colors. These 3 will mix with each other. Okay. So if you draw a triangle, because we're about to get into the real 6-pointed star, and just put red at the top, let's put blue on the bottom right, and let's put yellow on the bottom left in our triangle. Okay. So when you mix red and yellow, you're going to get orange. Yes. So we can put orange on the side of those 2 coming together on the side of that triangle. All right. Really. Asia. Can you do me a favor, please? Can you grab me a piece of paper and something to write with, pretty please? Thank you. All right. So when we mix red and yellow together, we're going to get orange. Okay. Give me a piece of paper out the printer and then something to write with. And then when we mix red and blue, we're going to get purple. And then when we mix the 2 at the bottom, which is blue and yellow, we're going to get green. Yes? Y'all with me? In the chat, let me know. And can we get an amen? Because this is just truth of colors. Right? Thank you, darling. Right? So is this true? Give me a second, because I'm about to write out this. So what did I say? I said red was going to be here. Blue is going to be here. Yellow is going to be here. That's the first triangle. All right. Orange, purple, green. Okay. Sorry for this, but I just thought about this last minute. So can I do it like this? Y'all with me? So red is at the top, right? And when we mix in the colors, right, with the upward triangle, when red and yellow mix, we're going to get this orange, right? And then when red and blue mix, we're going to get this purple. And then when the 2 at the bottom mix yellow and blue, we're going to get that green. So now these become the secondary colors. Yes? Yeah, so retrogrades, we get into that. I'll definitely hit that one on the next one. Maybe tomorrow for sure. All right. So and thank you for the request. And so we're going to have these, we have these colors right here. So now go back to this rainbow thing. Okay. Red was first, which is a primary color. That's a mother. Red is a mother color. Okay. So we call it primary. Okay. Your next color in the rainbow, and you should write this in order in the form of a rainbow. Your next color in the rainbow is going to be orange. That's a secondary color. Yes. Y'all about to see a dope ass pattern. So after orange is yellow. Wait a minute. That's a primary color. Yes. So what happened? Orange is the product of red and yellow mixing. We just showed that. We showed that right here. Red and yellow come together, gives us orange. So the color in the rainbow spectrum starts off, the first three is Roy. Red, orange, yellow. So orange is only in the middle because these two, mommy and daddy, are bumping and grinding with each other, creating this orange secondary color. Okay. All right. Exactly. That's what the cardinal is, bro. The three colors. All right. So then we move to green, which is a secondary color. Okay. Then we're going to move to blue, which we know is a primary, right? Yes. And then finally, we're going to go to violet, purple, which we know is a secondary color. Okay. So here we go. Let's deal with the last three. Green, we know, is a product based upon yellow and blue coming together. That's going to produce green. Green is a secondary color. Yes. Then we move to blue. Blue is primary. And then our last color is violet. And that's because blue and red are coming together. So we start off with a primary, which is red, but we end in violet. So the question is, how do you create violet? We already know that. You create violet off of red and blue coming together. Yes? Watch this. Yes? Red and blue must come together to create violet. But however, in the rainbow, red is at the top and purple is all the way at the bottom. It's as if what's missing? Technically, by the pattern, we should have red right after violet. In order for violet to exist, it must be between its two parents. So it's like we're missing a color, or perhaps that invisible color of red that's not there. Maybe that's you. I mean, you do got red blood after, like for real, you got red blood. Maybe that's you. My point in showing you the pattern is God is a weirdo. You got to understand this. And I say that in the most beautifulest way possible, because just when you think you have it, you don't have it. You can never have it. But yet when you don't have it, you do have it because you are it. I know y'all get it. All right. All right. So you are light. Okay. Exactly. The spectrum is a circle. And that's what it's trying to show you. Hence the arc. So our job is to come with that. But see, is it an inverse circle? Because in order to get that purple, that red must be there. You see what I'm saying? And so now it won't match if we bring them together. But that's the whole purpose of what we call yin yang. It's not going to be. See, God's way of balance in this world, I'm going to tell y'all, is quality and quantity. Quality and quantitative things are two different things. All right. Shout out to QC Migos Quality Control. Quality is a feminine force, the best of the best, right? One egg gets fertilized generally, one egg at a time on average. That's quality. She's a qualitative being. Man is sperm. He's quantitative. Okay. Now, a lot of people don't like to digress and get into this conversation because sperm is light. Everything is light because it's energy, right? And so, if man has within his nature to have more than one woman, I'm not justifying shit. I want to be clear. I'm a scientist. I just like looking at truths, but all truths are but half truths, right? So I just like looking at it for the sake of expanding my own awareness. When we look at the biological function of man, that's why I'm telling y'all the chakra system, man and woman don't have the same chakras. They can't, because they're not the same being physiologically. They're not. Okay. So anyway, man is qualitative without a shadow of a doubt. He has the ability in one ejaculation. If he could literally fertilize that ejaculation, he can populate the entire United States. Easy. The planet. Easy. In one. You got to really look at that from an energetic level. Like, really ponder that shit. On an energetic level, you can populate, man, you can populate the entire earth off one ejaculation. That's some potent shit. So God's way of balancing that out is not apples for apples. It's apples and oranges. So quality has to come in so you can have a nice quality. You see what I'm saying? So the oxymoron here is, yo, listen, balance in this place ain't I got XYZ and you got to match me XYZ and we 50-50. That's not how balance is. The 50-50 may mean, I'm going to digress a little bit. In the old era, man go to work, do XYZ, and the woman could hold it down. That's the old era. I'm speaking of my grandparents' era. All right. My point is showing you that is your contribution is in another field. You see what I'm saying? That's the compliment. All right. So anyway, let's deal with light, because you are this beautiful light, man. You gotta, without light inside of you, like it's a wrap. You're dead. I always say the emergency people are coming when you're unconscious and they're going to hit you with them shock paddles. Charge. So there is something in your heart called the SA, the SA node. The SA node is majority, is what literally is creating this pulse to get electricity to start. Okay? To get electricity pumping, to give you life. Very important. The SA node. So the first thing they want to do when you're sick is, let me check your vitals. Let me hear that da-dump, 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 da-dump. Because that is electricity. Let me check your heartbeat. Let me check. And what's happening? They reading it out on the machine. Let me check your light. Let me see the pulse of your light. Okay? So your light. So now we have to understand, I keep saying this, that light has polarity, or what we would call duality. So what we as human beings got to understand is, within the earthly solar system that we're in, sun, moon, stars, Mars, quasars, those type of things, these planets, you can see them, 7 of them, well, not counting the sun, in that case, 6 of them with the naked eye. They are, light is bouncing from the sun off of them into your eye, and is lighting your occipital lobe in the back of your brain. I ain't gonna tell you where it go from there, because that's some other science. You really should know this, especially as it pertains to money. All right. These lights are, you're registering them as something that you can see. So you're intaking light. Now here's the kicker with this thing. Because remember, everybody is not compatible with everybody, right? Everybody in here has been in a relationship that you're no longer in. Everybody's had the experience. Something just happened, right? You're not compatible with everybody. It's just the truth. So the angle of light in this science, this is why when you go to astro.com and you put in your own birth chart and you start looking at, wait a minute, I see these red lines and blue lines, and you start seeing these lines are talking about angular perceptions from one planetary body to the next planetary body Here's the kicker. As you would see them when you're born, as if you're looking at them. Oh, yeah. So how can I explain this in another way? Lance, let's just say, for example, is born on the full moon. Okay. The full moon means the sun has set in the west, and immediately coming up after the sun went down and it gets dark, this big ass moon is going to be on the eastern horizon. That's a full moon. The full moon is when the sun and earth, sun and moon are opposite one another. Yes. Hey, what's happening? Right? This is a fact. So from your angular perception, when you're born on a full moon, the planetary masculine body, Apollo, the sun god Ra, sun, is in the west, but that's in complete opposition to Diana, the moon goddess, in the east. So now this cosmic perception of truth, right? This cosmic perception of truth, the masculine and feminine energies are at odds with one another at the time of your birth. If we want to call the opposition a conflict, because it can represent conflict. So now the male and female energies are at odds with one another. All because you are observing an astronomical phenomenon, because you are light incarnate, and that light that you are is the entire light of creation. So when this is an opposite that, there is an angle of light in your regular perceptions of things, because you're born with this light of opposition. Just because it's in the sky is one thing, but you have to deal with the fact that there was a point where that umbilical cord got cut, which is the snapping point of when you draw your own independence of breath, is when you come alive and you're no longer dependent like mommy, rather, right? Hey, what's happening, Aaron? So since you're no longer dependent on mommy at the time of the umbilical cutting, and you draw that first breath, that and you let out that, you're here, everything is okay, right? This one is on and popping in the birth chart. This is what we know. This is what we're calculating. I remember my super mentor, Grant Cardone, asked me, hey, he asked me this on his show. He was like, man, which one is more important, the conception chart or the birth chart? I said, man, the birth chart. So he wanted to kind of get at me like, oh, no, I'm in the conception chart. I said, man, listen, you say it all the time. You're going to have to get off your mama and stop being a little, and not to be derogatory, but we talk like this, me, he do, I do, we do together. You got to stop being a little bitch and bone up. You can't be dependent on mommy with an umbilical cord. Get your own breath, stand on your own and build your own thing. So that's the most important time, not the conception, the birth, when you become independent and activated. Okay. All right. So this angular perception of when we're born, that light that's taking place, just imagine the sun over there, the moon over here, full moon, right? This is a phenomenon that's taking place as you're born and you draw in that first breath, right? That light is becoming activated. And now that angle of opposition is inside of you. This is how, only thing you got to do is study technology. Technology mirrors humans, cell phones, all this shit, reception, like all of this shit is just you pushed out. All right. The inward of how you function push outward. Okay. Computers with memory, the RAM, all that stuff, man, how it processes stuff, all that stuff is your brain, is you. Okay. So this distorted view of light, in the sense, this opposition is literally within your own channels in your brain of how you perceive reality, man. So then when you start having these squares, because now we're going to say a square is if the sun is in the east and the moon is in the west, then let's just put something in the middle, in the south, and that's going to be called a square. When the planet is exactly right there, and they're forming this, what we would call this right angle triangle. Remember that in math? A right angle triangle. Remember that? 2 points are 180 degrees on a straight line, and then they both go like this. I'm not talking about an equilateral triangle when they're all 120. I'm talking about a right angle triangle that forms an L. It looks like, well, that sucks, right? I gotta start breaking out a board and shit, man. A right angle triangle. This is better. All right. A right angle triangle. We gotta go back to geometry. That's a right angle triangle. Okay. It's not an equilateral triangle. All right. See, when you start getting in this shit, going to school becomes fun when you start looking at mathematics and science and shit, because then you start to understand it and whatnot. That's why I think they teach the children entirely, most of the children entirely too young, because that region of their brain is not activated to be able to grasp this shit. It's only when you become older then you get to really fully understand it. All right. All right. So these angles of light is inside of you, and it's literally creating our perceptions. It's creating our perceptions. Okay. And we respond to this stuff, man. This is real stuff. We literally respond to these angular perceptions. Okay. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you, Deja. All right. We respond to these angular perceptions. So you got general rules, right? The whole I'm a fire sign. So fire and air rock with each other, right? And earth and water signs rock with each other, tend to be. That's the general rule, okay? Now, I want to show you something where you got to get back to the God force to get up out of this shit. You got to be pure consciousness. Because there was a point in time where I was like, when I just start going back and look, like for me, remember my favorite homework assignment to give y'all is when you go to astro.com and you do your elemental zodiac energy, right? Where you say, oh, okay, I was born with Neptune and Sagittarius. I'm from that generation, a 14-year group of people that got that. I was born with Uranus and Scorpio, a 7-year group of people got that. So that's a water sign. So I got 4 planets in Aquarius. That's air. I got 1 in Taurus. Okay, that's earth. When I start combining my energies, I'm taking the 12 signs, because all of this is light, and I'm going to show you. I'm taking the 12 signs and I'm reducing them down to 4 energies, because all of the signs fall in fire, air, earth, or water. That's a fact. And then all of the 4 energies, the elements, which are the 12 signs, they fall into what is known as modalities, cardinal, fixed, mutable, right? The beginning of a season, Aries, Capricorn, Cancer, Libra. The middle of the season, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. The end of the season, Gemini, Virgo, Sag, Pisces. Everybody falls within that. So everybody is one of the 12, and then the 12 can be classified within 4 elements, and then 3 of them are rolled together inside the elements, and then the 4 can be condensed down to the 3 modes, where it's 4 of them inside of the modes, which now can be classified to the 2 genders, because air and fire are masculine, simply meaning active electric principle. Let's go. I like to think. I like to do shit. Move, move, move. It's activity. Feminine being magnetic, passive. I draw in. I nurture. I cultivate. So now 12 became 4, became 3, became 2. And the 2, male and female, are just a replica of the one source of the G-force in who we are. Because the 2 is inside of you, known in your glands, right? Wolfian duck, Malarian duck. Yes, look it up. Wolfian duck, Malarian duck. All right. Our Skene's gland in the women, a dormant gland that used to be, that would have became, you know, male. And for men, you got the prosthetic utricle, known as in ancient times the vagina masculina. There's a dormant vagina gland inside of you. And in women, there's a dormant penis gland inside of you. Why not when you come from mommy and daddy? So therefore, again, we're going back to the source. So what's the source? Here it is. Remember, we started off with light. 3 primary colors produce another 3, which are the secondary colors, which are 6. So if you got these 6 colors, and then these 2 on the 6 colors start to mess with each other, if you go back to the 6-pointed star, if we say red and purple, these 2 will recreate what they would call red violet. Purple and blue would create violet blue. You see what I'm saying? So then if you go all the way around, you're going to get 6 more colors, and then you're going to have a total of 12. So there go to 12 zodiac signs. The whole 6-pointed star is talking about light in which you are. But this is the key. We have to understand that this is us. You're the dot. Your consciousness itself that's playing this magnificent game and trick of duality. Your consciousness, man. You ain't going to get past that. And you can't never get past it. It's just the truth. The moment that you think you see God, you better ask yourself, what is the invisible stuff that is making that which is visible manifest? Because then that's going to appear as if God is dependent upon something. And I'm fine with that conversation too. Because in math, you have an oxymoron. You have independent variables and dependent variables in math. Remember that? I don't know if y'all remember that. So they give it to us in the form of a vending machine. Right? They give it to us in the vending machine where you take a quarter or whatever the case may be, right? You take the money, you put it in the machine. When you hit something, that's the function. So remember, it's 1 plus blank equals 3. Remember that? 1 plus blank equals 3. The plus is the function. So this number right here, this is the outcome, 3. So this number right here is what? This is the dependent variable, because this thing depends on this. This is independent. So you had independent variables in mathematics that make up shit, man. It makes up reality. It's the oxymoron. It's the yin and the yang again. But you can't get stuck on that per se. You have to know that you are indeed pure consciousness at its best. I am telling you from experience, man. I have been in what they science called the quantum field. I've been suspended in that field. All right. One time I really was dead and came back. And I was dead for a while too. But it makes sense. That's Anpu, Lord of the Dead. So let me tell y'all another thing too. Start watching this. So I had a beautiful session today with a sister. Great energy. I love when I get great energy, man. That shit really fuels me. So she's like, you know, today's the 22nd. I saw that your price is $222. I mess with numbers and I decided to give you a call. So she calls me and she's like, hey, if I get a reading, when can you give it to me? And then I'm like, well, I can do it at 2 o'clock your time. Right. And she's like, okay, cool. I said, all right, bet. I had to go get a cut and handle some business. And so we do it at 2 o'clock. So in the session, I realized that I only said 2 o'clock because I was under her hypnotic suggestion. She had made an observation that I want him to read me. His price is this number that I like because I'm in numbers. I'm going to purposely wait to the 22nd and call him. And here it is. I'm thinking that I'm saying 2 o'clock organically, but it's really coming at the advent of her making an observation on me. My point in sharing this with you is this. All your thoughts come. Because 1 minute they was there. They wasn't there. They come. If you are a receiver, that means someone else is a sender. See, we back to that two-way thing again. Okay. And so I'm saying that to say, if you're in a relationship or even have a great friendship, all right, you should practice telepathy. So me and how can I say this without giving this up? I ain't gonna even say, but I'm gonna say this. There's a practice that is being done. And I get this image all of a sudden in this practice that's been going on for what, a month now. I get this image where I'm starting to switch up my practice. You let me be clear. You have to start actively agreeing on what it is that you're going to imagine with your business partner, your lover, whoever. You need a partner in this field of inception and going to these other planes called, your future. And once you do that, you start to synchronize your thoughts, is my whole point. So when I think, again, I'm starting to see, I'm switching the image up. Now the image is this. They're telling me like, yo, I've been doing that. That's my style. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm late to the party. I'm just now catching up. But that's showing me that here it is. We're thousands of miles apart, literally. But we got a set time that we do this work. We're starting to literally destroy what we would call space and time. And the images inside of both of us are merging as one. All right. That's right. This is the whole purpose of the two must agree. You have to find you a partner in this thing, because then you're going to have, see, your partner is it's the electromagnetic spectrum of reality that we live in. Let's not forget that. If you're light, all light creates magnetism. Magnetism is going to be what you're going to draw to you. All right. So let me give y'all something, because I want everybody to prosper. I really do. Like I want people to prosper. The daytime, here go the oxymoron. Watch God. Watch God. Watching. You got to watch him because he's slick. The daytime is when the earth appears to be receiving sunlight. Yes? So it receives. At nighttime, things grow. Growth is this vertical thing to a degree, and to a degree is really true, that goes against gravity. Yes? Gravity wants to keep you here. Growth is anti-gravity, wants to go up. So we equate the daytime as the masculine zone, because when you look at activity, everybody's active. And at night, everybody's asleep, which is the feminine part. But damn, our watch this. Human activity says the daytime is masculine, more sunlight, more activity. At nighttime, we're asleep, feminine, magnetic. But on another plane, the earth is actually receiving in the daytime, And we're actually growing, which is projecting at night. Nature is growing. You ever come outside at night and one day you go to sleep and the next day you come out, all of a sudden the flower is open and you know goodwill was not open. Yesterday it wasn't there. It came up. So here go. This is what I'm saying. Here go the damn oxymoron again. Again, that's right. The divine paradox. You do your visualization when you can. You do them after midnight, but before sunrise, because things grow. Hence, in the old tradition, what did they call it? The witching hour. Cinderella got to be home by when? Midnight, the magic, right? So when you want to project and do your work, you gotta do it in the feminine field, what you perceive to be the feminine field. All right. Hey, that's who gave me that beautiful energy today, right there. Flowers, right? Or should I say share? So you got to do the work in the feminine field by projecting, because now the earth is not being bombarded by solar particles. You see? So it's easier for you to, why you think you dream at night? You have most, if you sleep like a regular person, then you have the most quantum experiences, because technically you're not in your body. When you sleep in dream state, you somewhere else, man. You way over yonder at a game. You transcend the space and time. You in the mall, and at the blink of an eye, all of a sudden you're at a football game or something, right? You're in a total different space, right? So we know that, let's just call it parallel reality, exists. But we got to understand that it exists within this oxymoron. All right? Because light loves, light is duality, man. I just can't get past that. And then the two are the one. And this is why, look at it in Genesis. It's the one God creates Adam and Eve. One creates two. And then the two creates a third state. And that third state that they create was a twin, to let you know that, listen, don't fall for the third. Don't fall for this thing of duality either. Cain and Abel, don't fall for the trick of duality. That which looks the same is not the same, but yet it's the same, because something that's identical looks alike. They're showing you this paradox. And you just got to keep it back and know that everybody is what we call in Hebrew, echad, one. Oneness. It's one. So you must be one. Everybody is one. This shit, I'm going to do a joint called Cosmic String Theory, man. Cosmic string theory. It's very, very real. Very freaking real. Life is a spider web. And I'm talking the circular spider web, because that web right there is very interesting, because everybody can be on the outer band, Zodiac signs. You can be in the inner band, fixed stars. You can be more, dark matter. You start to, it's a wheel, but this point of the wheel is in geometric proportion to another portion of the wheel, right? And soon as you touch the spider web, it don't matter where you're at on the wheel, you're going to feel the effect. They call it the butterfly effect, right? The butterfly effect, I'm calling it the cosmic spider web, because I know how this place is built. I know what's taking place. We're moving in circle. So it's this circular spider thing that's taking place. And so you something is because I did something. I do something is because you did something. Because again, the thought is never original. It had to come from somewhere. I didn't have it yesterday. I don't care if I'm creating the first prototype. I don't care if I'm the Wright brothers creating an airplane. The idea was not there at one point in time, and then all of a sudden it got there. Where did it come from? All right. That's right. The internet, the real internet is this right here. The internet is this spider web. All right. So I just wanted to give y'all that, man. You are light. Cultivate your light. Cultivate your light. If you see me come with the Cosmic Light Body course, I can show you some pictures. And I believe we slacking too. Like I got a course that is totally like every month you got to go in and do a certain meditation on a certain part of the body, and you're dealing with sunlight. So the real work is you by yourself, right? When you're by yourself doing the work. That's why I say an ounce of practice is better than a ton of theory. The more you practice, the more sincere you can get. So if you ever see me run something called the Cosmic Light Body, you better understand that this is a real phenomenon. In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, there's a sect of Buddhists who have something called the rainbow body. Look it up. They can turn their body when they die, their bodies shrink. In some cases, totally disintegrate, and their body turns into light. Hold on, I got one of my contractors hit me up. We'll do on a video. All right, y'all. Okay. So hold on, y'all. All right. So their body can literally turn back into light. This is a real story. This is a known phenomenon. It takes pretty much all their life and dedication to meditation and chants and stuff to get there. That's their way of doing it. But nevertheless, they get there. The body turns into light and it shrinks. And then the rainbow appears, called the rainbow body. Well, I'm teaching this class and showing people the cosmic calendar within yourself, within the year, that people take pictures now and all of a sudden rainbows is always appearing in a vicinity. Like clockwork, the rainbow keeps freaking showing up, and I know what's happening. Light is very intelligent. Excuse me. Very intelligent. So mine the light within you, okay? Mine that light. So if you see me, I'm telling y'all now, if I do it, because I get in class mode around this time, September, October, when children go back to school, that's the energy. Then that's when I'd be like, okay, here go a class that we can all get into something. So if I do that, then I'm telling you, you want to get into that, because it's listen, how can a dead body shrink, in some cases disappear, and just leave nails and hair, and then rainbow appear? Like, what the hell is that about? Like, that is to me absolutely the last level of enlightenment that you can reach. Like, you got that shit when you did that. Like, damn, you dead. And the masters will tell you, when I die, leave my body alone. And then some stories was like, yo, listen, on such and such date, I'm up out of here. And then when that date come, they broke up out of here. And then tell you, don't touch my body for 10 days. And then the body shrinks and turns into light. And then the rainbow appears. Like, are you serious? Like, what is that? This shit is real, man. That's how great we are. That's how great we are, man. And that's what we have to get into at some point in time. And if you on this channel, man, you already there, because this kind of information, obviously you vibe into it. So there's going to come a point where we all are going to have to sit down and mind and concentrate on this great light. All right. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. You are the light. Watch the video, share with a friend, subscribe, join our mailing list. I'm at myastrologycoach.com, myastrologycoach.com. You can get with my partner, the Prime Minister, Minister Jew, at theimaginationguru.com. I got a webinar coming up this Sunday called Programming the Matrix. Listen, oh, snap. Also on my computer. I'm going to show y'all. In fact, I'm going to make a video. I ain't tripping. I got time. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to show y'all on 2 occasions how, when in the state of gratitude is my attitude, as we call it, when you change your vibration to happy vibes, the matrix will start to respond to you. And I'm going to show you how I had 2 bills. I opened them up. One bill said I was past due, and then the next bill came for the exact same amount, and then it said how much I was past due, but then it said I paid zero because I didn't pay it, and then it said I owed nothing, and then it said the due date is it said none. It's the weird, like I'm gonna show you the actual bill. It's the weirdest shit in the world, but I want to show y'all numbers because oftentimes we get stuck on just the number and we don't do nothing with the number. And then I think we make the gross mistake of simplifying numbers. And I'm going to show you that numbers mean something by themselves versus you trying to add them into other numbers just to reduce them down. I would have never got to the wisdom that I'm going to share with you on this webinar Sunday had I not had this particular system of decoding numbers. And I'm going to share this, guy. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to show you how when I switch my energy up, my bills come and it's like, oh, you don't owe nothing. Or negative. All of a sudden I had one bill was -2, what was it? -275, I think, on that one. And I'm going to show you how to define those numbers in the mystical system using the Kabbalah, how to define those numbers and how you can start to pick up on angelic frequencies and direct communication of what's being said to you. Okay. So I'm going to show you that. That is going to be this Sunday. Go to myastrologycoach.com. You'll see it on the front page. It's going to say a webinar, Programming the Matrix. And I'm giving it to you at my members price. Our private members only have to pay us $45. The general public normally pays $75. I'm going to give it to you at members price because I'm going to show you some old school content that we have that when we was purposely programmed, especially the number 13. Man, I got the number 13 in the bag. Ooh, I got something on the number 13. Purposely programming the number and then watching certain things take place on the 13th after you didn't consistently program the number. I'm giving you the game. So it's right there. It's called Programming the Matrix. Get to that webinar. It's on myastrologycoach.com. All right. Those of you who may want to advance inside of the cosmic study, man, do yourself a favor. Get into the mentoring program. That's over there because I'm about to go somewhere else, man. Y'all see me on this, and then Friday you're gonna see me showing you. I bought a house today, which I did. I literally bought a house today. I'm not gonna get into that on this channel, but I'll switch it up and then I get into the prosperity bag and whatnot. Well, I'm bridging that gap of you got spiritual wealth, you got lifestyle wealth, you got relationship wealth, you got health wealth, right? And then you got financial wealth. So you got a lot of different type of levels of wealth here. And I'm being specific on that vibe that I'm dealing with financial wealth as a goal. And I'm bridging that. And I'm going to bridge spirituality and business, right? And you want to get into this mentoring program because the people that I'm linked up on the business side, when they take us on and stuff, the goal again is just to share and you be in that position. And I keep telling people like on Facebook, I'll be like, don't say I didn't tell you. I'm sitting up here. I bought a house today. I said I'm going to say that, right? I bought a house today for $5,000 and what was it? $5,013, man. Literally a house in a historic district for $5,000. All right. I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it pretty soon. I'm going to show it on Friday because I like showing good news on Friday because Friday's a feel-good day. So I'm going to actually show the news on Friday and update my people on it as well. But I'm telling you, you can't say that I didn't try to share this information with you, man. I feel good knowing that, hey, I gave it my best shot and showing you to follow through. All right. But definitely get in that mentoring program. You can get to that to myastrologycoach.com shop tab, and it's going to be right there. Take your time. There's a self-activation workbook that's there for it's a lot of tools, man. There's a lot of tools. So I'll see you. I got to call my contractor that kept bugging me and shit. So let me see what's going on and stay tuned, man. I'll see y'all soon. All right. Peace.